look at that. It looks like it worked right away. What a concept. All right. So, happy 2022. It's great to see everybody out there, and I really appreciate it. So let's see who we have here. We got Roy. How you doing, Roy? Great to see you. Let me go ahead and get rid of the noise here. Okay, cool. So, Nigel, how you doing? And Willie, how's it going? Great to see you all the way from the UK, Nigel. It's an honor, sir. Blue, how you doing? Good to see you. Patty, great to see you. Happy New Year. And, hey, Hillbilly Abel, good to see you. How are you? And let's see who else we have. Rick, good to see you. What's up, Chris? Mr. Garcia. And John Diekman, all the way from Wisconsin. Always a pleasure, sir. And so this one's going to be a little interesting. So we are doing, I don't know if you've seen the thumbnail. So this is a photo that I've taken. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Thank you so much, my friend, for the support. Just lets me know that this channel is here to stay when we got support like that. Thank you so much. I heard about what was going on with you, John, and the Arctic weather. Please be careful. That's unbelievable. I just think it's incredible of how much snow and wind and everything you guys are getting, you know? It's crazy. So, let's see. So, the model for this is someone who posed for me. So, this is a model. I took the photograph, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. Working on concepts, stuff like that. Just taking it to the creative, fine art level, much further along in creativity, more fine art, less commercialism. So that's pretty much the direction we're going, and be working on concepts, and I'll even be going ahead and teaching studio techniques for photographing your own model. All that stuff is really wild. Let me see here. I think my shutter speed is too fast. Let me see. Oh no, that's okay. All right. I thought the shutter speed was too fast, but I think we're okay. Let me see if I can go ahead and, whoa, minus 20-degree wind chill. Hey, what's up there, Mr. Steve Leahy? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Love that winter scene you're doing. Oh man, with the stream and the snow, beautiful, just beautiful. How far are you with that painting? You say you're 80% done? I would love to know the progress of that one. Really, just stunning, stunning, beautiful work there, have to say. I always give credit where credit is due, and it's definitely due for you there, Mr. Leahy. So, let me see. So, I'm going to make sure I don't say that, but I'm going to try and not. So, I'm going to bring in an image, and the image I'm going to bring is my picture of Maisie. So, this was a lovely model that I met, and this is going to be the picture of Maisie that we're going to be working from. We'll put her right over here. There you go, Maisie. And great. Okay, so that's good. Mr. Payne, how you doing? Good to see you, John. And oh, 70%. Yeah, it keeps getting pushed back, you know. It's a rough thing when that happens. But you know, it's coming out good, so that's all that matters. So we're going a little bit low tech. Before we were doing some higher tech stuff, but now we're going to do a little bit low tech. We're going to, so what I did was I drew it out, and after drawing it out, I went ahead and scanned it and made a whole bunch of photocopies or scanned printouts that are exactly the same size. So I'm going to be using this as my as my stencil material, but not stencil material in the sense that, you know, I'm going to stencil everything out, but I'm just going to try and keep everything clean, give myself a head start. And we're going to be using your favorite sepia inks and mine, which are Tim's Illustrious. Dun dun dun. Let me see if I can get a good picture of this. I'm going to make this lighter. The ink mixtures. So you get medium, you get dark, and you get light, which is the coolest. And for a limited time, if you do order these on inkflingers.com, I'll throw in the white mixture. Wow, is that not the best value of 2022 if I didn't hear one? So, actually, I think she was part Spanish. I think she said her dad was like Central American, and then she was Caucasian. But yeah, she was amazing. I met her at a sketching event for my alumni association in New York, and she was the model. Asked her to pose for me a couple of years back, and she was gracious enough to do that. And well, this is true, Chris. Guilty as charged. That's for sure. You know, if you guys know me. Okay, so let's go down here. So what I like to do is I want to set up, as you always know, I set up doing the white mixture first, and what that does is basically goes ahead and raises the value a little bit from the paper and gives us something to work with, pushes the color of the paper back further in space, and just gives us a really nice depth. And that's what we want. Depth. So we're going to take this beautiful image of a beautiful model. It's not a beautiful image yet. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut out her face and her skin. So everything. Hey, Blue, thank you so much. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for the support. I really, really appreciate it. And, you know, like I said, you know, I really feel that this channel is here to stay because of the support and how it keeps growing and how generous everybody is, especially, you know, everyone who has, you know, Paul and Blue and Steve and Mr. Mummery and Willie, you know, buying the artwork, all those things, buying the inks, buying the sepia mixtures, you know, all those things really help me to continue doing this. And not only that, but, you know, I always want to grow the channel. So this is the next growth spurt. This is where we're going. We're going more fine art, more academic approach. Taking the airbrush world into the fine art world and bringing it together, you know? Hey, Kiddos Art, how are you? Oh, Kiddos Art is new to the channel. From what he's seen and heard, he's excited about the stream. Oh, wow. Thank you for subscribing. Yes, Kiddos. When you get a chance, why don't you just email me at paintedglyphs@gmail.com, and if you have any questions or about anything, you just let me know. You know, this is a very informal group, you know, and you're always free to ask questions. I'm always here for you all to try and make this more fun. So that's what I'm all about. Just trying to make everything a little more fun. So I'm going to make this smaller. There we go, so I can see it. And let me turn off Critter. I have Critter on in the background. And turn off all these different programs that I have up. There we go. Boy, do I have a lot of programs up, everybody. but that's okay. So now I have this here. So I need to open up your favorite reference software. In mine is PureRef. So it's just going to be one moment. We're just going to move this over here. And I am going to look for the picture of Maisie and put her here. Okay, we're in good shape. So I'm just going to cut around. But before I do that, right, I think it would be best if we always look at the reference at all stages, right? Your reference, that's your lifeline, right? The reference is your lifeline, everybody. So you definitely want to hold on to that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out the body. And it's going to be a very loose cutout, of course. And then I'm going to cut out her face. So basically where I'm going is that we are going to take control of the creativity in 2022. What does it mean that Tim's going to take control, or we are, as ink flingers, are going to take control? We're going to design our paintings from the very beginning. We're going to integrate backgrounds. We're going to work on edges in photographing the model. And if you don't have a camera, I could actually teach everybody how to manipulate a photo to get more artistic. This is where the real creativity is. The other stuff is technical, but this is where the creativity lies. Let me get my ink flinger's glove on. So thank you everybody for wishing welcoming Kyros. It's so cool. We have such a great group, my friend. You're gonna really love hanging out with everybody. And this is where you take your time, you know, just, you know, I usually put on some classical music, maybe some Franz Liszt, or if I'm in a different mood, I'll put on some Evanescence. But you know, whatever gets you in the creative mood. And, you know, let the world and its troubles kind of fade away. This is what you're doing. You love doing this. And just really take advantage of it. And have fun. So I am listening to an audiobook today. And that audiobook is called Atomic Habits. Anyone out there ever read the book Atomic Habits? And if so, what did you think about it? So I'll continue. So Atomic Habits is saying that everyone has goals. We all do. And what separates those who reach the goals are not, it's not the goal, because if people have the same goals but only a small percentage reach them. And what he says is that we have to change our habits. And if we change our habits in line with our goals, then we will meet them and reach those goals effortlessly. So that's where I am in 2002. So I am trying to reach my goal to create a better live stream and to give better content. And, you know, some might say, well, that's like a weird goal. No, it isn't, because if I, in a habit every week, try and get a better live stream each week, just a little bit, maybe 1%, and I do that each year, or each week, how much better will my live streams be? How much better will my work be, right? So, and that's what I'm trying to do. And so I'm going to try and wake up earlier. That's a habit I want to do. I want to increase my nutrition, make better choices nutritionally. I want to work out more. So those are the things that are my goals. So, but the goals are kind of intertwined with habits. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm enjoying the book so far. I just finished a book called, which is really fascinating, called the 10X Rule. And what he says is that our goals are too small because we're very afraid. And hey, Dragonair, how you doing? Good to see you. And so our Rio card, Cristal, how you doing? Hey there, Colette, great to see you. How are you today? Good to see Colette. Colette rocks. Okay, so we're just going to do this. Just going to go down. But like I said, what I want you all to do is to really take your time when you're painting. Every step, just really chill. Listen to some great music. Maybe go on a Skype call with a friend and maybe draw or paint together. Have you guys thought of that? You know, as ink flingers, maybe one day just hanging out and painting together. You paint your project and the other person on the other side paints their project. I don't know. I just think that would be really wild. Because, you know, yeah, painting is a very solitary endeavor, right? It really is. However, once in a while you get lonely. So what's wrong, right? What's wrong with just, you know, wanting to hang out with an art buddy and they're painting and you're painting and you can have your head down and just, you know, be talking with your friend and just connect and inspire one another. I'm going to try that I do that with my students, right? You know, my students are my friends. And I honestly feel like it's hanging out with friends when I'm painting with my students. But, you know, even just like outside of that, I'm thinking of doing that. I think that would be fun in 2022. Just sort of like, you know, like what I used to do when I was a youngster, hanging out with my friends, and we would go to a sketch class and we would just hang out together. And that was just a lot of fun. So, you know, yes, with COVID-19, everything's a little scary. Okay, look at that. Ba-bow. All right, I'm going to save these because you never know when you're going to need them. So we're going to put the razor blade away because, you know what? Tim's accident prone. And we're going to take out our magnet board. And this is a board that has magnets on it, hence the name magnet board. And so I need to clean my studio. It is becoming its own entity as far as the mess. Okay, and so here we go. We're gonna put her here. Here you go, Maisie. And I love the paper technique. It's really cool. Oh, Kiddo says he's inspired by my work and painting while I'm watching. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's kind of like hanging out and painting, right? That is exactly it. Definitely. Hey, Jesus, good to see you. How are you? You know, that's great to see you, sir. All right. And bam. Okay. Now, we did a good job cutting that stuff out. Let's align her with this. It should not be difficult. Let's see. Let's see. So the face is like super important. So that's going to be the most important one that I line up. And then, okay, that's not bad. Not bad, my friends. Put this over just a little bit. Okay, so now we have her lined up. And now we're going to set up the white mixture. We don't use the white mixture, but a very little bit in the beginning. And I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do. So now we have this. I'm going to take my, this is interesting. So this is a 105 arrow. And I took the 105 arrow and I went ahead and souped it up. And we're going to use this for our white mixture. Now the white mixture is, it's my own concoction, and that concoction is Drew Blair's 50/50 illustration white, which I love his line of paints. Makes me happy. They erase well. They do everything you want. So if you haven't gotten them yet, I highly recommend it. Super recommend. And we're going to go ahead and put that in. And it's a very diluted, watery kind of transparent paint, which is very important. Oh yeah, so Kitos likes the interview with Drew. Oh, that was a great conversation with him. He was just amazing. It was like hanging out. Hey, what's up there, Wendy? It was like hanging out with a good friend. I know Drew for quite a long time now. When I first came on to the airbrush, first came into the airbrush world, when I first started, like in 2010, I would ask him all kinds of questions, and he was always super gracious. And that was always, always such an honor that he would answer my questions and really help inspire me. It was just a great experience. Never forget that. I'll never forget how cool Drew was in the early days. But we have similar fine art backgrounds, lots of art history information that when we talk, we can just kind of riff and talk about the old masters, the French academics, the neoclassicists, those cats, right? So that's really good. Hey, what's up there, Mr. Kennedy? How you doing, sir? And so, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to be about 6 inches away from the subject, 6 inches away from the paper with my airbrush, okay? We're not worried about highlights. Remember that. You don't want to get messed up with that. So you don't want to worry about highlights. And let me just move this light a little bit away, and let's go to town, guys. Here we go. So before you go on to it, always test on a spare piece of paper. Perfect. And now we go. So before you go, maybe lighten up some pencil lines here and there. This stuff is really great. It's the only acrylic paint that basically erases. So highly recommend it. So your pencil lines, even if you go over it, which I don't recommend you doing, you still can erase those pencil lines underneath. Other acrylic paints, not so much. So that's That's why I'm in love with these paints, basically. Okay, so I'm pumping that trigger about 4 inches from the subject here. So, not going too crazy. And so I'm kind of squinting my eyes and looking at the big pictures. And while I'm doing that, that's really important, because you don't want to get lost in detail. This is a very crucial part. Getting lost in detail at this part can be hugely detrimental. So just keep it very, very light, very, very general. General shapes, but you want to pay attention. So when I say general shapes, I mean pay attention to the your reference, right? You're still going to do your 1 second rule, but you're not getting involved in small shapes. That's way, way down the line. What we're really concentrating on is just lifting the white from the color of the paper. And what that does, it immediately gives you more of a dynamic range. And so dynamic range means the number of values between black and white, and this just increases that, okay? And that's what you want. So make sure you have good aim. And you want to plow the field before you go in, right? Plow the field, go in. Plow the field, go in. Very important. What was the brand of the white mixture? The white mixture is my own concoction, but the main ingredient is Drew Blair's 50/50 Illustration White Dragon. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Let's go over here. And what we're going to do is come over here. Let's see. Just going to put this right here. If I see any pencil lines I don't need, then I just get rid of them, right? Because now I'm thinking white mixture. And if I don't need it, we'll just get rid of it. So why put down the paper? Good question. The reason you put down the paper is that it's going to protect the hair, because if you go ahead and put a lot of white overspray over there, it can affect the application of the hair when you're ready to go in there later. So like chess in Airbrush, you have to think a couple of moves ahead. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to think a couple of moves ahead. No, it's a necessity. You have to do it. And I tell my students, you need to have everything planned out and how you're going about it. And each time you paint, each time you practice, your pragmatic approach gets more and more refined. And that's the excitement of painting in airbrush, is the fact that it just gets deeper and deeper as you go. It all gets much deeper and deeper. It's very wild. Like playing chess, like studying anything, you just continue. It just continues getting deeper and deeper. And you learn more and more complex concepts and everything like that. So my goal as an educator is I don't know if all you know about that, but the airbrush world has always been at odds with the fine art world. And the reason being, definitely, is just a lack of education on the fine art world as to what airbrush is. And what airbrush is just a medium. It's not an art form, it's a medium. Just like watercolor is, just like anything else, it's a medium. And it has the same amount of merit. And this should be exciting for you all, because you're not held back. You can create the next Mona Lisa. You can be at the level of Caravaggio. You don't have to take on the limitations of the fine art world. And that's what I want to do. I want to dispel those myths. I want to destroy those myths. I want to blend or blur the edge of the fine art world and the airbrush world. So that's my goal. And, you know, I'm going to, with you guys' help, guys and girls' help, I'm going to get there. And we'll be able to, you know, attack the mainstream galleries and all of that. And that's so important, you know. Hey, Steve, have a great night, my friend. Always a pleasure. And continue doing that great work over there with that landscape. That thing is kicking butt. So, really amazing. Just going to come here and see how I'm just laying in a little stronger the white here, this white mixture. Just coming in a little stronger. Paying attention to where those shadows are, even if it's you know, a more transparent shadow. You know, some shadows are transparent, some are more opaque, and that's something I teach my students. Is there's a difference between a transparent and there's a difference between a shadow that is opaque, and it's a huge difference. And so, you know, always pay attention, always assess what kind of shadow is this before you go in. And, oh, look at that. I ran out of white. That's very rare. And, okay, so Mr. Brad says airbrush is another tool, just like an ordinary brush. If we didn't process with the tools, we would still be scratching images on caves with berries. Definitely true. That's so true, my friend. So, thank you for that. That's a very good point. Definitely. Putting a little more of the white mixture here. Okay. So what I want to do is just even this out, make sure it's not blotchy. When I pull this up, I'm going to come in and such a beautiful, beautiful pose. So I'm very excited about this pose and you know, hanging out with you while we do it. Now there's usually some of these paintings actually go, last painting had 10 parts, some have as low as 5 parts. It all depends on the artwork, so I'm not sure, but if you stick around, I promise I won't do anything except working with you, you know. So this is the only live stream out there. When I say only in airbrush, I mean the one and only, where you're doing a portrait from beginning to end. So you might have said, Tim, you're not doing all that much there. I don't see it turning white, but look how much white that is. Pa-pow! That's a lot of white, huh? So now that I have this, I'm just going to go and do a little refinement here. A little bit lighter here. A little bit light in here. There we go. See how I have this nice, beautiful, large area of white? And we're going to actually work with this. It's going to be a lot of fun, I promise. Remember, art is fun. So let's keep it fun, right? You know? Oh, so glad you turned a profit, my friend. Congratulations. Subtlety is key, kiddos. Very true. And let's see. Uh, and Jesus says 100 on that. Oh, yes, definitely, definitely, my friend. Definitely, Jesus, I appreciate that. Have to go already, Dragon? Oh, man, it was great talking to you. So, Dragon, do I know you? The airbrush world is very small. Before you go, if I know you, let me know who you are. But if I don't know you, glad to meet you. And pay your grandkids to turn it away from Uncle Sam, Jesus says. Okay, so let's attack this. Well, not attack. We're not attacking. So what are we going to do now? So why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and use our cutouts and see if we could give us a really nice head start. What do you guys say? So I'm going to take this. And we're going to take this. So this is basically part one. And what I really want to show everybody is, hey, you know, beginning is very difficult, especially if you're not used to it, right? You know, the beginning of a painting is really rough. So this is a great part one that I get to share with you. It's an honor to share this with you. And so I'm excited because I want to make this, you know, I want to make the whole process as easy as possible for everybody. And I hope I succeed in doing that. And if you want to go deeper, you know, we're going to go plenty deep here. So, you know, you're going to gain a lot here. But if you want to go even deeper, take my class. It's a lot of fun, you know. It's all online. You get 1 2-hour class with me, and then 1 2-hour group class. You get 4 classes a week for only $100. $100 a month. So why do I feel that that's a good deal? And I'm just going to talk really important about the book I'm reading, Atomic Habits. And why that works, why Atomic Habits works so much, is that because if we have the habit of working, right, a specific time. So let's say you have a habit of working with me for 4 hours a week, and you stay with me for a year. So times 4, it's pretty cool. So take that 4 and times it by 52. And I believe, if my math serves me correct, now there are some 5-week months and 6-week months, but I would say that's over 210, at least 210 hours of airbrushing, but not just airbrushing. Airbrushing with an instructor that cares about your growth, airbrushing with a great student body who we all help each other out. We're all friends. And I'll tell you, that is very exciting. And so think about it. Now, I'm telling you this, you don't have to sell anything if you believe it, if you believe in the product. And I really believe in the product because I really care about my students. I care about you at the live stream. I do. But, you know, with my students, I'm able to go even deeper. And that's exciting, you know, the fact that I can go even deeper with you all. And that makes me happy. And that makes me feel like I'm doing something special. And I hope I am with my students. But I know I'm doing something special here with the live stream because I'm given so much, and so many people in my family, they go, Tim, what are you doing? Why are you giving this stuff away? And it's like, no, I'm not giving it away. I'm spreading it. And, you know, whatever I give, I know is going to come back to me. I know that sounds cheesy and everything like that. But that's what it's about. I'm kind of like a real giving person. not in a selfish way, because I really enjoy it. I really enjoy giving. So I like the feeling. I like, I like sharing, you know, the ability to make great art. And then I could watch you all do great artwork, and I get to enjoy the great artwork that you do. So it's pretty selfish too, you know? It's a selfish thing because of what I get out of it. So thank you, everyone who in 2021 were there with me. And thank you for those who are going to be there with me in 2022. And we're going to do some great artwork together. Trust me. So you see what I did, guys? I'm cutting out her eyes. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us a really nice, beautiful head start. No pun intended, get it? Working with the head start, you know? Okay, so let's come over here. And we're just going to... 1 second rule, my friends. Remember, look for a second and paint or draw whatever you're doing and do that for a second. That's Tim's 1 second rule. Everyone who has been with me in the live streams knows the 1 second rule is key, you know? And let's see, Dragonair is trying to help you sell your better drawings like the one posted today on Instagram. Wow, that's great. That's great. I know you're going to sell them. And Jesus says, Blue keeps saying he needs social media to see all you guys' drawings, but be honest, social media has turned into a negative trend for you. I understand that. I'm glad you're here. That's for sure, Jesus. And Jesus says, Tim, you have the right concept. You care more about the art, and it shows. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, you know, I would do it for totally free, and I have for most of my life. So, you know, it's hard because when I see a lot of commercialism out there, it's hard for me to relate because, you know, yes, I need money to pay the rent and to pay for gas and electric because those guys want to get paid. They're serious about that. But I have to get better with money because of just the responsibilities of life. But, you know, the focus is always on the art. Always, 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 always on getting better. Doing artwork that, no pun intended, blows away what I did before. And that's what I want to do. Okay, nostril 1 taken care of. So some might say, Tim, why didn't you take care of this cutting stuff before? Well, this cutting stuff I think is really important because it just shows you the flow of the first day of working, right? You know, the flow is very slow. You know, you don't want to go in guns blazing. I see some YouTube channels and some other channels out there where they just go in like guns blazing, you know, like a swashbuckler, and they go in, but they really aren't taking their time. And so that's one of the good reasons that we take our time and we just, we'll get to where we're going, but patience is key. Oh, thank you so much there, Willie. I appreciate that. Oh, 1 second rule has helped you. Thank you, Paul. I'm so glad. Thanks for letting me know. And, oh, Super Sicko, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Happy New Year. Yes, we do need to make money. I agree there, Mr. Kennedy. And that's just an entanglement of being part of this world, right? There's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. And I agree. So you have to support yourself and your loved ones and help them, and, you know, hopefully everything will take care of itself. I believe everything will financially. I know I never was like that. I was like, oh no, I got bills. No, and kind of run around. But now I just sit back and say, nope, I think it's going to be taken care of. As long as I work hard and keep my goals in front of me and my head about me, I should be just fine. So see how we're doing, guys? It's going to pay off. Trust him. Trust him. Famous last words. No, I'm just kidding. We'll just come over here. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of, I don't want to kill birds, but I'm thinking of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Hear me out. See, that's a great thing about a live stream. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen, right? And yes, very true. Watching videos can be like the wormhole, can it? You could start watching one video and then before you know it, it's Friday afternoon. You're like, what happened? It's so funny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this and I'm going to cut out the hair as well. What a concept, guys. This is going to be wild. But that's something that I've been doing. Colette knows that, lately when I'm working on, my cutouts like this, I've been basically working on condensing them or combining them. So that's something that has been happening for a while. We're just going to continue this all the way down. So let's see what I've been missing. Super Sicko says, I love the process of portraits. Corey St. Clair does the same technique, still learning. You got this, Sicko. You do some amazing stuff, so don't underestimate yourself. I think you're doing amazing. Just stay on that route, okay? But I love your work. You're a great addition to the airbrush community. You just keep kicking ass, okay? And things are going to turn out just perfect. Okay, so we're just going to... Ooh, look at that. See how this comes out here? Tim almost didn't pay attention. See, 1 second rule, guys. I just illustrated the point. See, the 1 second rule, we can get lax about it, right? We really can. You're very welcome, my friend. Very, very welcome. You keep doing what you're doing. Same thing you, Mr. Kennedy. Keep doing what you're doing, my friend. Just stay focused on your main drive, right? Whatever caused you to do it in the first place. And keep that your focus and you'll be just fine. That's what I do. The other stuff, heck, what are you gonna do? That's just life. So Super, what I'm doing is I'm actually doing 2 in 1 here. So I'm going to do the hair, and then I'm also going to be doing the eyes, nose, and mouth on the same plane. We'll see how it goes, right? I mean, it's all experimenting. Hey, Paul, thank you again, my friend. Wow, Paul, thank you. It's amazing. I really appreciate that. Supporting the channel and just inspiring me, and that just gets my gets my motivation just really revving. So thank you guys. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Paul. Really appreciate it. And so cool. We're just going to keep going here. So yeah, so we did 2 in 1, right? So I guess that's one of the things I want to show tonight is I want you to always think about going outside the box. Yes, pragmatically, I want you to get better, but I want you to continue experimenting. Because what happens? You know, maybe I messed this up right in front of everybody. I mean, that's no big deal. I've done worse. I crack myself up. But yeah, I've done a lot worse. So, you know, what do I care? So, you know, just go ahead and experiment, you know, and try new things. See if this works. It might be effective. It might not. You might be like, that was a bad idea. Hey, Super, thank you so much. Happy New Year, my friend. I really, really appreciate that. You are the best. Thank you, Super. And, you know, thank you so much for supporting the channel and for hanging out and knowing you over the years. It's been great. And continue to be great in 2022 and well beyond that. Well beyond that, right? And so that is so exciting. You guys and girls are just so amazing. And I'm so blessed to do this with you, be able to share this, to have someone actually watch me. And I say that with a little bit of a smile because there were times where I've done live streams, and I've been doing live streams for quite a while, everybody. Since 2016, I believe, was my first live stream. So before that, I was doing, you know, regular videos. But I decided in 2016, late 2016, early 2017 to do live streams. It was a new technology. It was really very exciting. And I'm so glad I did because it built a community in a way that a regular video can't. And so that's why it's so fantastic. And Paul says he got his printer and laptop. Oh, you got your printer and laptop class soon. Oh, that's going to be great. Yes. I look forward to working with you, Paul. And we'll see. You'll see that it's like the live stream on steroids, you know? And the thing is that we get to work together at least twice a week, all year round, and from the comfort of your home. And that's key. Okay, the hair stencil, I'm going to be needing that. So we're going to put that aside. So look how cool that looks already. Kind of like Mr. Brad does scroll art. Doesn't this look kind of familiar there, Mr. Brad? Right? Kind of looks like, see, my students inspire me. I learn so much from my students. And I, in turn, teach them. So it's a very symbiotic relationship. Okay, so here goes an interesting part. I got a little bit of a stomach ache today. I don't know what happened. I do know what happened. I ate a lot of raspberries. They were and I also had a turkey tenderloin, and I ate that. And I usually get a stomach ache when I eat the turkey tenderloin. I don't know why. But I don't learn, right? So, got a little bit of stomach ache. It'll pass. So you see that we have that little bit of opening there. It's very cute, you know. So Jesus says, Super Sicko, where have you been? The last time I remember seeing you was on Ryan Townsend's lives, and Super said, yes, he stopped the channel through some tough days, but back and blessed. Oh, I'm glad you're back and doing well, my friend. So that's good. And Let's see what else I missed. Oh, just you guys having conversations with each other. And live stream on steroids. That's what they said about Rona, so it must be good. Much better than Corona. That's definitely. That's one promise I definitely can keep. So I'm going to just. I want a little bit of a slit, a little bit of a dark right here. That's going to look good. That's going to look hot. Okay, so now I want to do the same here. This is going to be good, guys. Trust me. At least we hope. So I got to have my reference, my 1 second rule. And let's see. So I'm just going to do a little slit here. So I learned through Steve Leahy's live streams. He has them on Mondays on Facebook, 6 o'clock, 6 to around 8. And I learned this technique through him. Just to do a little slit. There we go. So not bad. So I think we're let go. Let's see. We're going to put this over here. And we are going to get our artwork with this young lady. And we're going to start lining things up. And look what we did, right? We kind of attacked 2 areas at one time. And I think that's bold. And it's nice when we can be bold. Actually, we want to be bold as much as possible. Now this has to be lined up. More important than anything, the face has to be lined up perfectly. That's our priority. Ooh, I think we got it. What do you all say? Hey Brad, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys are fantastic, supporting the channel. You know, I have some new equipment I'm gonna get to make the live stream even better, and so that's exciting. Once I send everything that I owe everyone for the contest, I'm gonna start having contests again. We're going to give away some exciting things, and so really exciting giveaways we're going to have. So I'm looking forward to that. And so look at this. I think we got it, my friends. Let's see. And thank you, Brad. That's really amazing. Oh, yes, definitely. When you get a chance, you let me know. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the link here in the link is in the description, I think. If it isn't, I'll go ahead and put the URL right here in the chat. Okay, so let me do that real quickly. Okay, inkflingers.com is my new website. And we're going to go to merchandise and nope, it's under products. Okay, great. So I do have the link right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug that into just going to plug this in here. There you go. And that will take you right to the website, and you can purchase it. So that's really cool. So definitely and I'll throw in a little extra gift for you. So, you know, since you are a friend of the channel, you will get some really cool extras that you're really going to be like, oh my God, what's he doing? So definitely, if you order, I always take care of you. I always throw in some really amazing stuff. Sometimes it's the same price as what you purchased. I'm just crazy like that. All right, so now we're going to go ahead, and so what time we got? We're at 10:30 already. It's a lemonade break. Let's see. So I have my lemonade here. Wow, was I thirsty. Wow, that was good. Oh, who asked about my airbrush? If anyone asked my airbrush, please go ahead and ask again. I'm so sorry. I get so involved with Maisie that I forget the whole world. And I lost touch with Maisie. She was amazing. She is an amazing model, but I think she moved back to Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. Jesus says he thinks I'm a fantastic man and crazy. That's funny. That's hilarious. Hey, what's up, Nameless? How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Oh man, so better late than never. So I'm glad you made it, Mr. Super. No, not Mr. Super, Mr. Nameless subscriber. Okay, so we got Sepia going. You ready, guys? Drum roll, please. Let's go ahead. So I'm going to be, let's measure. I'm going to be approximately 4 inches from the subject. If I'm going to do a little detail, I may go down to about 1.5 to 2. But for the most part, I'm going to be 4 inches away. And let's get to painting Maisie here. So you see, as I'm just very lightly from 4 inches away, I am not really painting this. What I'm really doing is just getting a sense of the placement. That's all. Now, in the eye here, there's that little piece of white there. And I'm just going to very, very lightly. Looks like I'm not doing anything, but I really am. And, oh cool, okay. And Nameless says, never ready but always eager. Oh, that's cool. Enthusiasm is so important, my friend, so I'd rather someone be unprepared and enthusiastic than prepared and ho-hum. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Now let's work on Maisie's hair here. Now this is the light mixture. And the light mixture is very diluted. I'm about 4.5 inches. And look how light that is and even. I'm going to make sure that I have magnets that keep it from billowing the paper and trying to escape underneath, because then you'll get ghosting. And ghosting's never good. Oh yes, this is my ink flinger glove. That's also available on inkflingers.com, my friend. And this is really great. You know, it keeps me from smudging and gives a little added support for my wrist. It's really great. I really enjoy it. You definitely got to try it, Super. Definitely. I'll tell you what. Whoever orders the sepia tonight, you will get a special gift. And so, you know, when you're ready, even if you were here tonight, if you order later in the week, I'll include a special gift with it. A really cool gift. Not something stupid like, you know, like a Tootsie Roll or something like that. But, you know, something that's going to help your portrait painting. See how I'm just nice and far away, everybody? very low tech, right? All you need is, you make your line drawing, put it in your scanner, because you want to put it in your scanner and have copy in your scanner and make sure that they're the same exact size. And if they're the same exact size, you can make 7 copies and you can use them all as your shields and your stencils, and it's really great. But always double check, make sure they're the same size before you begin, because that could be really horrible when they're not the same size. So what an interesting beginning already, huh? Honestly, I think this is really cool. So I'm not going to lift it up yet. I'm running low on my light mixture. Actually, I'm out, so let's find my light mixture. Invariably, when I can't find something, it's behind something. So let's see. And let's see. And let's see. Super says, what airbrush you using nowadays? Oh, yeah. So I'm always using my Xtreme Patriot arrow. And this is a customized version, Super. And it really is great. It's $149. And as you see, I really feel that, with my customization, you can get incredible detail and yet beautiful atomization. So that's basically what I've been up to, just perfecting this airbrush. I also, for, as a real complimentary, is my customized Xtreme Patriot 105. Same airbrush, everything, all the refinements, but it has the large cut for you all who work larger. So definitely a little something for everybody. But yeah, we get used to our airbrushes, and we know our airbrushes, and that's a great feeling. And so, and that's also available on the website, guys. If you haven't gotten one of the Xtreme Patriot arrows, I highly recommend it, because I really put it through its paces. You know what? I didn't even put any light mixture in yet. Okay, let's make sure we keep my head in the game, Tim, right? Let's see. Make sure I'm using the right... Oh, this one. I got another set over here. I almost used a brand new set. That's not good. Love these sepias. They're really fantastic. And so we're going to have fun working through this. Okay, so let's continue. Again, you can use your pencil and pencil point to hold it down. Just try not to get any kind of bellowing, because the airbrush wants to overspray. That's like its goal, is to get overspray. And our goal is to say, no overspray for you. And we're just going to come over here a little bit darker. And again, we're just going to come back again, but we're just establishing, that's all. Just establishing edges, stuff like that. Okay, so a little bit deeper here, a little bit deeper there. Let's see what we have, my friends. If you have little ones, you can just use the big ones and just grab it, and then you can pull it off. Sorry about that noise, guys. Let's see what we got. Drum roll again. Dun dun dun. Could be good, could be bad. All right, not too bad, not too bad. Not amazing yet, but we're working on amazing, right, guys? Definitely going shopping, Tim. Oh, kiddos, that is great to hear. Definitely. And yes, always behind or under something nameless, right? That's my thing now. Now it's like, okay, it's under something. I'm constantly losing my remote. Look, I have it in here in my studio. Why? I don't know. I just carry it with me. So, drive myself crazy. Okay, so now we're going to start doing some freehand in the face. So, we're doing good. We're at a good clip right now, aren't we? So, I think we're doing all right. Okay, so, here we go. Ow. Just stabbed myself with my airbrush. I do that about 4 times a week. Okay, so now, let me see if I can lower the contrast on this. This is like really high contrasty. So I'm just going to, remember last time I did something and I turned off the live stream? Keep your fingers crossed, my friend. Okay, so I'm just gonna calm down the saturation here. Okay, so I'm just gonna go here, USB video. I'm gonna go to effects. Now I'm looking for saturation under color and light, and here it is. So let's see how this goes, everybody. There we go. Less radioactive, right? Okay, we'll hit save and close. Very good. So we survived, and I'm gonna just bring up the big picture here so I can see it. Let's get Maisie over here. Okay, here we go. Here's nothing. So let's go ahead and we're just going to start working where the eye is. Now with this light mixture, you have to lower the air pressure because it's very, very light. So it's like sketching with a 2H pencil. And you just want to do one coat and you come back, right? You're just going to come back. You're not going to stay in one area. Since it's so diluted, what's going to happen, it's going to beat up on the surface. And it's designed to work very, very slow, almost like egg tempera or something like that. So, you know, we're patient with the medium. The medium's going to pay us dividends, okay? We just have to be patient with the medium. So once you hit that area, you don't go back. Okay, you don't go back once you hit that area. We'll come back later. Once again, lower that pressure. I gotta listen to my own advice. And just move on, come back later. Yeah, Drew is amazing. He is the most talented airbrush artist ever lived. No question whatsoever. I have no doubt about that. You know, he is just amazing. He's been airbrushing longer than anybody, I think, at a high level, I should say. So you're going to hit and move, right? Hit and move. That's what we're going to do. Super translucency. That's what we're looking at right now. So I increased my distance and it seems to be working a little bit better on the larger areas. On the smaller areas, working close is really cool. Yeah, me too, definitely. So I didn't look for something that was already sepia. I wanted the challenge of painting something and translating it in sepia as opposed to having something that was already a sepia photograph. Raise the pressure, give a little more atomization. So learn what your airbrush does, under certain pressures, how does it atomize the paint? Does it atomize the paint differently when you have the Mac valve on, of course, and that's something we want to learn. Oh, so we save everything that we cut out. So I saved the just a face stencil. So let's go ahead and find that. So this is where all the planning and everything comes together. So I'm just going to put this here. Just like so. Very low tech, this is something that everyone can do, in your own studio. You can cut out with the X-Acto knife or razor blade, and you can, you don't need any expensive plotters or anything. So that's why I did this. This live stream is for everybody and anybody who wants to up their portrait game, He is a very funny guy. Yes, I agree, kiddos. Definitely. And again. So I'm about 4 inches away when I'm doing the large areas. And I let that dry and I came back, right? Remember, you hit it, then you come back, come back to fight another day. Because if it's too wet, you're just going to do more damage than good. Look at that. I ran out already, which is a good sign. It means that it's working, The process is working. So when you use it, it's good. I'm going to do a test on this to see. So I always test and see what it looks like on a scrap piece of paper. And that scrap piece of paper needs to be the same paper that you're working on. You don't want to be testing on a white piece of paper for obvious reasons, right? So you want to see what it's going to do on the paper you're working on. So your test paper has to be the same that you're working on. Okay, so let's take this off. See what beautiful edges we have. Magnets are great. Definitely get magnets, my friends. If you don't, and get like a little wooden, little metal board, that would really, really serve you well. Aw, thank you, kiddos. I appreciate that. If I can motivate you, then I'm glad I'm doing this. Hey, what's up there, Sheila? Mama Llama, good to see you. So glad you're here. Happy New Year. So that's nice. One of my classmates from high school is here. So that's always very, very encouraging. Again, I'm going to be about 4 inches away, maybe 3.5 here. I'm just going to darken these lips just a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Rome wasn't built in a day, everybody, so please take your time. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to do some strategic erasing, you know. Oh, so do I always airbrush flat? I never did. I always used easel. I was classically trained, so we always were in the studio with the vertical easels. But since teaching online, I've been going horizontally like this, and what happens is you get used to it, and that's what happened with me, and the rest is history. Now I prefer working here on this, but it is easier working, I have to say, it is easier working vertically because, you know, you get this, you have much more movement, so it's a little more free-flowing. You get to put your whole body into it a lot more, but, you know, it's whatever you're used to, and that's the main thing. Whatever feels best for you. And since I'm doing it so much, you know, it's just par for the course. So I just got used to it, blue. Just like this. There we go. So you see how I'm going to start getting rid of some of those training wheels, which are the pencil lines. So the ink, the sepia mixture, and Drew Blair's 50/50 illustration white, it works together to just erase away. And this is such a very light time of the painting. All of this is going to go away anyway. We're going to go much darker over everything. Oh, John, have a great, great day. Thank you so much for hanging out, my friend. Always a pleasure. And Nigel, have a great night. I didn't see you. Take care. And I really appreciate you staying up to 4 in the morning to watch the live stream. What an honor for me. And you too, John. Thanks for staying up. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are amazing, and thank you for all your support. So you see how, you know, we are just starting super slow. Super slow. Just like so. And you know, we're taking our sweet time. We are no rush whatsoever, right? No rush whatsoever. But I love the way everything's working with it. So when you're working with these light mixtures, make sure that I'm going to be doing a video, and you can watch this when you purchase this. With the light mixture, you have to be very, very slow in the application. Build that up super slow. So Blue asked the question, when using the sepia, will you normally defull? I'm not sure what that means. Could you clarify that? Oh, so I know, Bill, you're a vertical painter. Definitely. I know that. That's for sure. You do some great work, my friend. Naila says, but working on a flat surface means everything is a pencil and brush holder. That's true. That's true. And Mama Llama says, my son is in the National Art Honor Society. Oh, that is so great. Congratulations. Tell him I said congratulations. That is really very, very encouraging. Oh, okay. So Blue says, when using sepia, do I default to tinted paper? No, not at all. I like using Bristol. Remember we did that with the Prayer Warrior? And that was on white Bristol. So sepia works really well on white. And so that's a great question, Blue. And Mr. Kennedy says it's easier to do a lot of things flat, but with his neck injury, I can understand that. It's actually not good for my posture, right? I'm definitely with you there. And then pretty much mandatory work most often vertical, definitely. And so look at all those people giving congrats to Mama Llama's son. That is well deserved. That is so exciting. But on smaller work, on smaller work, working more intimate pieces, it feels better working horizontal. I feel just feel more comfortable, right? Certainly working erasers and pencils, sure. So here's an interesting part. We have the white down, but we could use the white that's there and use it to our benefit, and we can scratch out and get the value underneath and sort of create a little bit of a tonal pattern, which is very interesting. You don't want to, you have I have an aggressive eraser here, but that doesn't mean that we have to be aggressive with it. We have little extra oomph with it, so we can get more, but we don't want to tear into that paper. So let's see if we could lift up some of this graphite here. There we go. Okay, so here we are, still with this light mixture, and we're just going to come in ever so lightly. And we're just going to work on darkening this area around the eye. Each layer, since it's so transparent, is going to be darker. But don't make the mistake of coming back into it, okay? Just take your time. Think of it like working in egg tempera. It's much more delicate than working with my India ink mixtures, my black mixtures. Oh, kiddos, have a great night. Oh man, 5:30 in the morning. Thank you so much, and email me at paintedglyphs@gmail.com if you have any questions, kiddos. What a pleasure and such an honor to meet you, my friend. And the airspace says, Blue Steve, I believe, does work with one. He used to do a lot of work on a drafting table. Blue says, would a drafting table with adjustable be as good as any easel? Most definitely. This is a drafting table, and it's one of those ones that goes up to almost straight. Those work great. I've been having them since I was a kid. That's why this feels so good. I also have an easel behind me. So both are good. To have a good easel, a good H-frame easel, not an A-frame, and that would be really fantastic. So remember, for easel you want an H-frame and you want a good large drafting table. I would look into some of those places that have really good sales, like Michael's sometimes has a good sale. Blick is a good place to look. Sometimes you can find clearances, so that's really good. So I think I got my drafting table, which you see here, I'm working on. I think I got it for like $149. I just had to put it together, you know? Yeah, so Nameless says it's the easel not about brand or price. You have to find one that fits your style. Definitely. So, uh, and Bill also agrees that A-frames are no good, but the H-frames are really fantastic. I have an H-frame that I bought back in 2001, and it's still as good as the day I bought it. And I use it all the time, my H-frame easel. Um, so definitely that's like a lifetime purchase, right? So think of your easel as a lifetime purchase. You're going to have that with you no matter where you go. See how we're just slowly, slowly building her up, paying attention. Yes, displays are true. They're different, definitely. That's a different thing, or that I understand. Jesus says, but he has a drummer set that he got for Christmas. Oh, congratulations, Jesus! Oh, that's fantastic. Nameless says, I hear it's best to go in a hardware store or buy supplies to just make your own in a handy way. That's the best way for height needs. Um, it all depends on what your needs are, I'm a traditional painter, so I need a traditional easel. I work sometimes as big as 3 feet by 4 feet. Uh, if you're going to be working larger than that, then you want to get even a better easel than I have. I don't really like working big, so that's why I got the easel I did get. Now you got to be careful with this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a little bit of the medium mixture in with the dark mixture, with the light mixture, and I think that's going to help out a little bit. Let me do this. Go. I think that will work wonders. I'm going to test it on. There we go. Okay. So testing this out over here. There we go. And let's see what I missed. Yeah, I would say, oh, thanks, Blue. Blue says the starting progress is really good. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Oh, a metal one. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Paul said he's seen one of them on sale and he was looking. Yeah, make sure you get one with the coupon, because otherwise it would be too expensive. So uh, hold out, hold out until you see the coupon, because it's like almost half off. I'm just going to model the eyes a little bit. And then you have this lighter value right next to that. So if I want the lighter value right next, I'm going to increase my distance. So this way I'll let the airbrush do the hard work. The further you're away, you're going to naturally have a lighter value. So just increase your distance and it'll lighten up automatically, which is great. There we go. Little bit of a blue shift here, but that's nothing that we can't handle. So remember, you never want to do any erasing while it's wet. That's always a bad thing, you know? Oh, so your actual spray area is a super heavy magnetic whiteboard that won't budge. Very cool. Oh, the filtered exhaust. Very nice. Oh, thanks. Paul says it's popping. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. See, I'm tempted to go in there, but I'm not, right? I'm not going to fall into the trap. So I'm just going to have patience and know that I'll get to it when it dries. Okay, so what I'm going to do is it should be dry by now, and I'm just going to erase that blue shift away. And that does come off, which is great, thank God. There we go. You can see. So in retrospect, what I would say is plow the field before you go darker. Get rid of any white that might be there, and this way you won't have to deal with it as I'm dealing with it right now. So plow the field where you're going to spray a darker color over the white that we established. Again, it re-emphasizes how important it is to actually be careful with the white when you're doing the initial white on this. You want to be careful. You don't want to go too crazy with the white, right? That's for sure. And we're just going to get rid of some of these pencil lines and set up for the white. Set up for the actual other color of the sepia. So now I can see where I'm going to go a little bit darker. I'm just going to prepare by getting rid of any white that might be there. And this way I won't have any kind of blue shift. It's so early. We're going to cover that so much. So I'm not worried whatsoever. Here we go. So little by little we're getting there, my friends. Oh, Patty, have a great night, and thank you so much for staying up and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Paul says, put the eraser down. That's funny. You have a great night there, Patty. Thank you so much, and you are great. Hey, Todd, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. How's it going? Nameless said, just found AirTod cheating on Tim with another streamer. Oh, what stream was that? Oh, that's okay. Everyone knows where the good stuff is, right? So this is the good stuff. I don't care what else is out there. I know this is the best value around. But you know, it's always good to get different kind of always good to get different kind of stimulus. See how the other world works, right? So it's all good. It's all good in the hood. So let's see here. We're gonna come in and darken this side of the eye. There we go. Oh, look right here. So let's get ready with the eraser here. When we put in the shadow, we want to make sure there's no white there, right? So I know we put the white to, you know, give the lighter areas, you know, some nice, you know, have it pop from the surface a little bit, you know, come forward from the paper. But we don't want it to affect the big picture, which is any kind of blue shift, right? Oh, thank you, Blue. I appreciate that. AirTod says the P stream. I don't know what that means, but that's cool. Yeah, it's always good to see other stuff. I appreciate that. You know, when I was in art school, I had different teachers, but I always came back to the good ones, you know? So yeah, it's always good to see you, Todd. Happy New Year, my friend. It was Dolly, the airbrush guy. Oh, Dale the airbrush guy. Oh, t-shirts. Oh, cool. Oh, I didn't see it, Todd. Oh, that's cool. That's all good. And so let's go ahead and continue working here. Notice how slow I'm going. This is how slow I want you all to go. I want you to just take your sweet time. Just take your sweet time, guys and girls. No rush. And let's just pull this over. Remember, just like when we're working in the other medium, everything looks dark right now, but only because everything else is super light. There we go. So right here again, so we just have to make sure that we get rid of that white before we come over with a darker color. It's good when things don't go so smoothly on the live streams, because it's a way for me to show you how to handle it, right? You know, because a lot of times something might like that go wrong and you don't know how to handle it. This would be a good point of reference. So you can say, oh yeah, Tim freaked out a little bit, but he came out on top. I always acknowledge you guys, Nameless, that's for sure. The blue, so the blue shift on toned paper doesn't happen with my Airbrush India inks, but it does happen with the sepia. So you do have little added fun issue with sepia. So, you know, there's a give and take. You know, sepia has some really great qualities, right? It's really expressive. It's colorful, but it's gonna have its downside, and that's what this is. So that's a little bit of downside, but it's nothing we can't handle. We'll conquer it. That's all. We're all for we're up for the challenge, right there, Nameless. Right? We are up for this challenge. We are throwing down the gauntlet. So the pencil. I see too many airbrush artists not use the pencil. I want you guys to use the pencil. Oh, have a great night there, Mr. Kennedy. Thanks for stopping by, my friend, and I hope you feel much better. And Happy New Year, sir. And we're just going to come down here. So you want to use the pencil because I don't know anyone who has more control than they do with the pencil. So that's what I'm doing. So there's no points in using, you know, just the airbrush. You know, a lot of people are like, I just use the airbrush. That's great. What's more important is, you know, feeling comfortable when you're working. So even more important than that. We're going to do some erasing here pretty soon. I'm at a very low air pressure, everybody. 1 second rule is going to keep my head in the game here. Follow the grain of the skin. Follow around the muscles. Okay, that's very important. So that's cool. Oh, the dry brush is a lot of fun. You'll find that really helps a lot. Thank you so much there, Bill Kennedy. I appreciate it. We're just going to continue here. There we go. And let's work on the lower lip here. We don't need this detail. That's a little too much detail, so we can get rid of this. There we go. So the lower lip is really described by the shadow underneath the lower lip than the lower lip itself. Sometimes the adjacent shape will describe the form more than the shape itself. So remember that. I'm going to come in darker here, and okay, again, so we have this nostril here. This comes down right like this. See that? And then we have the wing of the nostril, which comes out and up. And this is described more on what's on the outside here. So we're going to get our freehand shield, and we're just going to perpendicular and not parallel. See how we're just going to create that little bit of her cheek there. There we go. And don't worry about this area. We're going to be coming in and lightening that up with some erasing techniques. There we go. All right. So let's see, we're at 11:20. We're doing really good. Oh, I know. We're cool. Me and Mr. Todd are cool. We go way back. So me and him, we're tight. So that's cool. And let's see, Sandy. Oh, Sandy's a bot. Oh, Sandy. I thought you were a person. Nameless says he hates nostrils. Too many tight angles. It really is. You do a great job at it. But, you know, I agree. It's not easy. Right? It's not easy there. But we all have those little things, right, that just drive us crazy. And I know I have mine, definitely. So I'm just going to try and sculpt some of the light, or reflected light, in the lips here. The under part of the lips is getting reflected light from the lower lip, it looks like. And remember, don't worry whether it looks like them or not, okay? That's a trap, you know? It's going to happen when it happens. You can't rush it. We're going to get there, I promise. Paul's not a robot. That's good to know. Lips are too, but they're, oh, you have an easier time with lips. What would be like, I'm thinking like, what do I have that is usually kind of a rough patch, I would say. I think it's the nose is always the toughest part for me, you know. But I struggle through it. I don't worry whether it looks like her, you know, Super. I just sort of work slowly, and I know it'll reveal itself in time. So right now, as you see, I'm just kind of cleaning things up here, and knowing that I'm going to come in with more detail and not get emotional about the painting, right? Just realize that it takes time, and if I stick with the program, it's going to work out. But if I get nervous and try to go outside of myself, you know, outside of my technique and my knowledge, that's when things are going to go south real fast. So we just have to stick with it. Blue says you should do a self-portrait like that you took of yourself. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. One of these days I definitely have to, Blue. Great. That's a great idea. Paul says, Jesus waited 9 weeks before the snail mail from across the pond. Yes, that's true. Let's see. Jesus says, we know you are... Paul says he's not a robot. Paul says he knows you. Jesus says he knows you aren't. That's funny. And... UK and US, they get there pretty quickly. I would say probably on a good clip, it'll probably take less than 2 weeks to get there from the US as far as shipments are concerned. See right here, it's a little bit darker in the picture here. In my picture. I'm just going to lighten it up just to make sure I'm not getting too harsh. And I think I am over here. So I'm just looking at the big shapes, guys. You know? Just the big shapes. Not worried about the little shapes. Just the big shapes. This comes over like this. And then here we have this really nice little turn in her chin here. See this, how it comes out like that? And it's like, it's really cool. It's a really cool hard edge. So I'm going to be about 4 inches away. And I'm just going to, just like that. See that how I kind of nailed that? Just wanted that edge. Let's see what I missed. Tim, if you notice, the shading on the face looks kind of patchy. Having the same problem with one of my portraits. How do you make it smoother? You remember, you're just in the early stages, so you're not going to have that layered technique. So in the beginning, it's going to look like this. It looks like this in all my portraits, whether it's pastel or oils or India inks and now sepia. But the trick is to just let it darken up. So when you darken things up, it's going to come together. But you have to give it a chance to do that, okay? So patience is everything. And don't worry how it looks now. Don't even worry whether it looks like her. That's not the most important thing. So always keep the most important thing is your game plan, right? Keep that game plan in front of you. You're not cold-hearted, my friend. You're a good guy, Mr. Todd. How's life out there in San Diego, sir? Are you guys having great weather? That's one thing you have out there in San Diego is great weather, am I right? So no one can say otherwise to that. There we go. And we definitely have a larger wing of the nostril here. So I'll just bring that over here like that. That helps. And if I squint my eyes, this value kind of comes over into this area more. See that? Comes in a little bit more underneath here too. And then over here, we just have to sculpt this area as well. And set that up, you know, erase the white if it's there, and this way you don't have to deal with any kind of blue shift. It's the early going, meaning anything you do now is going to be covered by many layers of darker value. This is just the establishing of the areas. Let's see. So right now, the surface is still a little volatile, so I don't want to work too wet. So while that's happening, I'm going to let this set, and then I'm going to work on some areas I haven't worked on before. But yeah, you can see it does react. This surface and this ink does react differently than the regular mixtures. Again, I want to go ahead and erase this large area here. Oh, have a good night, Mr. Todd. Always a pleasure, sir. So what I want to do is get rid of any of the white where I'm going to put some tone. So this way I don't have any kind of overspray happening. And I'm just going to be from far away, and I'm just going to do a quick value right here as the forehead. So the light's coming from above in front of her and slightly to the right, and then as it turns towards the left, it's slowly getting darker, and as it turns down, it slowly gets darker. So we want to get that feeling of the light cutting across the forms, and that's going to really help us. So that's our concentration, just really concentrating on what the light is doing and then going from there. We don't really care about whether or not it looks like her. I know it's counterintuitive, but trust me, it's going to keep you from getting into that trouble. And you don't want to get into that trouble where you're sort of so worried about it looking like her that you get out of your game plan. So we definitely don't want to do that. So we can work here on the neck a little bit, sculpt this out, which is good. Oh, so we are at 11:31. That's what happens when we're having fun, guys. Thank you so much for all of the super chats, Brad, and thank you so much, Blue, and thank you, Paul, for the super chats, and thank you, Super Sicko. I appreciate that, my friend. You guys are all so fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means so much to me. It allows us to keep building. Think we unintentionally cyberbullied? No, he's a good guy. No worries, Nameless. Todd's a good guy. He's a good friend of the channel and everything, so he's cool. And all right, guys, you take care of yourselves. Thank you, everyone. Happy January. Happy 2022. Let's kick some butt, shall we? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Had a lot of fun working with you guys. It was cool. We're going to continue with part 2 and see where it goes, right? So we'll do a complete demonstration of these sepias, see if you like them, and buy them, you know? That would be cool. And so, Todd, you are the best. So good to see you, Todd. And always a pleasure. Thank you for being such a great support of the channel. And take care. Mr. Willie, if you're still there, take care. Nameless and everyone else out there. Blue, and you guys are all great. Total Pain, Mr. Roy, and Colette, and just Kiros. Take care, everyone. This is new, so let's figure out how I'm going to close this stream. So I think I do it this way first. I'll go to System Settings, and I'll end the stream here.